Final round of the Rocket Mortgage Classic from Detroit Golf Club, where Tony Finau entered the final round tied for the lead. He's 0-5 when leading after 3 rounds, looking to convert, looking for back-to-back wins. The only player bogey-free through 54 holes. Here on 4, third shot from the rough. And look at that shot. Snuggles it up nice and close. Put a snuggie on it. Inches from greatness there, tapping for birdie. Now on 10 for another birdie from 21 feet out. Putting with precision, moves to 24 under. But then, here on 11, to save par, inside 10 feet, didn't read it well. He'd bogey, his first bogey of the tournament, so bogey-free through 64 holes. But he responds. Next hole, on 12, a birdie from 30 feet out. Oh, the flat stick is working for Tony Finau. Buries it. Moves to 24 under. He's pumped back to a 3-stroke lead. Now on 14, second shot of the par 5. 212 yards to the hole. Inside of 25 feet with 2 putt for birdie. Moves to 25 under, tying the tournament record. Looking to keep it going. With par on 15 and 16. Now on 17. Staring down an eagle putt from 34 feet out. Tony Finau locked in, but just short. So he tapped that in for birdie, gets to 26 under. Can he hold the record? Closing in on the record on 18. Went 335 days between his second and third career PGA Tour victories. Now looking at 7 days between his third and fourth. 137 yards to the hole, within 14 feet. The crowd loves it there in Detroit. Looking to close it out with another birdie. Ensuing birdie putt for Tony Finau. But he taps in for par, and Finau sets the record and wins the Rocket Mortgage Classic at 26 under par. The first player to win in back-to-back weeks in the regular season since Brendan Todd in 2019. His wife is there, family cheering him on. He sets the 72-hole tournament record at 26 under par. Moves to 7th in the FedEx Cup standings, earning his 4th career PGA Tour victory. Finau said he was out to prove himself, and that he did. He wins by 5 shots over Taylor Pendrith and Cameron Young and Patrick Cantlay as Tony Finau goes back-to-back on the PGA Tour, out to prove himself, and that's what he did, talking with Amanda Renner after his 2nd straight win.
How different does this Sunday feel compared to last Sunday?
It feels amazing. Last week was amazing. I was actually quite disappointed in my finish last week, and all I wanted to do this week was show that I'm a winner and a champion, and I think I did that today.
An emotional hug with your wife right there. Take us behind the scenes. What kind of work, what kind of effort does it take to go out here and earn 2 weeks like you've had?
It takes a team. There's no question about it. My wife's amazing, been support from the beginning, and I have so many people that support me back home. My manager's here, who's someone that helps me. I mean, there's so many people behind the scenes that have gotten me to where I am today. The work has been relentless, and to be able to just get rewarded for it, you never know in this game, but you keep putting your head, you keep keeping your head up, 1 foot after the other, and good things can happen, and that's what's happened these last couple weeks for me.
Even in your answers, you're always so selfless, and in true fashion, you head to your foundation straight from here tonight with the motto being inspire someone.
Yeah.
Who do you hope these wins are inspiring?
Yeah, hopefully the next generation, and especially my son back home. Dre's boy, it's for you, big dog. You know, my kids, they see the work that Dad puts in, the sacrifice that I make for our family, the time that it takes to be great at something. And it means everything to me that my kids can watch me not only fail, but they watch me win as well. And that's what it takes to be a champion.
I know Jace is following in your footsteps in so many other generations as well. Congratulations on this victory.
Thanks, madam.
Tony Finau with a heck of a couple weeks. He's earned nearly $3 million over the last 2 weeks. Won the 3M Open last week, then this week the Rocket Mortgage Classic. He rallied last week to defeat Scott Piercy. Won last week by 3 strokes. This week by 5 Tony is the first player to win back-to-back weeks on the PGA Tour, each time by 3 or more strokes, since Justin Thomas did it in 2017. In 2017, Justin Thomas also won the FedEx Cup. Perhaps some foreshadowing here for Tony Finau as we close in on the FedEx Cup playoffs. And for more, let's welcome in Sportsline data scientist and the host of the First Cut podcast, Rick Gehman. Tony Finau with back-to-back wins on the PGA Tour. This week sets the Rocket Mortgage Classic record at 26 under par, Rick. How did he pull this off?
He was absolutely clinical, Hakeem. You know, it's so difficult to not only win in back-to-back starts, but to do it in back-to-back weeks. It's why you have to go back to 2019 to find the last guy to win back-to-back weeks in the regular season when Brendan Todd did it. You know, a victory last week at the 3M Open creates the highest of highs, and then you have to start all over again at even par the following week and do it all again. And Tony Finau was phenomenal. You know, he drove the ball like vintage Tony Finau, what we would expect from him over the course of the last couple of years. And that newfound putter, whatever he has done in the last 6 or 8 weeks with that flat stick, has been nothing short of magic. And now that he's rolling in these putts on a more regular basis, he's putting himself in contention. And not only is he putting himself in contention, but when he gets into contention, he's finally pulling it off, something that we have said Tony Finau has failed at plenty of times during his career. So this is quite the shift in resume in just a 7-day period for Finau.
Yeah, he closes it out. He had been 0 for 5 in this situation, and he closes it out. Time now for the Bonobos' perfect fit. Tony Finau's game was a perfect fit at Detroit Golf Club. I mean, heck, he set the record at the Rocket Mortgage Classic at 26 under par. Why did this course suit Finau so well?
There's a few things, and what we've seen from Detroit Golf Club, remember, this is only the 4th year we've had the Rocket Mortgage Classic, so compared to other PGA Tour events, that's a very small set of data. We've seen the bomb and gouge strategy really work out. That means hit it as far as you can. If you're able to find the fairway, that's great. If not, you play it from the rough and have a wedge into most of these greens. And that Donald Ross design, where the greens pitch almost exclusively from back to front, creates a situation where even if you are playing from the rough and you cannot get the requisite spin on your approach shot, you're still able to hold the green and give yourself a chance at birdie. We've seen past champions deploy the bomb and gouge method, and that's what we saw Tony Finau do this week to near perfection. And he wasn't playing out of the rough as much as past champions were, Hakeem. He was playing from the short grass quite often. He was controlling his spin. He was rolling in plenty of birdie putts and enough to create that gap between him and the rest of the field en route to setting our scoring record.
Tony Finau was already a household name in the golf community, but really now with these 2 wins back-to-back weeks turning into a star. And we always talk about how professional athletes sometimes hold their emotions close to the vest. You can really appreciate the emotion that Tony Finau plays with. It allows him, it seems as if it motivates him, right? I mean, he's playing for his family. He's out there thanking his community, thanking his team of people that rally around him. And just really great to see a guy like Tony Finau stand up here on tour and win back-to-back weeks when you consider he had 2 previous wins in his PGA Tour career coming into last week.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. Tony Finau, probably one of the nicest guys on the PGA Tour, and we would kind of often use that against him at times when he's piling up these top 10 finishes and he's not winning. And we say, you know, Tony doesn't really have that killer instinct, but he certainly does. And you heard him in his post-round interview with Amanda Renner just saying, hey, I didn't think, despite the win last week at the 3M Open, I didn't really like the way I played coming down the stretch, and I wanted to prove to everyone that this wasn't a fluke. So he uses that as motivation. He also uses his family as motivation. You probably heard the story countless times this week where he'll put the initials of his children or his wife on his golf ball, and then if he does struggle and he's not playing well, he'll rotate through and try another kid. So he's always looking at his golf ball, looking at those initials, reminding himself why he's out there, what he's playing for, using that as motivation on every single shot, and obviously now brimming with plenty of confidence after going back-to-back on the PGA Tour.
Yeah, rallied from 5 shots down last week, and this week holds on to the lead after round 3, something he had never done in his career, coming in at 0-5, and now he closes it out. Now the conversation gets even bigger for Tony Finau because the reigning FedEx Cup champ Patrick Cantlay also playing well at the right time, finished T2 here in this tournament. What do you think, though, about Finau challenging Cantlay to win this year's FedEx Cup playoffs?
Yeah, I'm really glad you mentioned that, Hakeem, because we've seen guys get hot at the end of the season and make a run into the FedEx Cup playoffs and then win the FedEx Cup. I'm thinking of Billy Horschel, obviously a handful of years ago, and then Patrick Cantlay just last year winning the BMW Championship and then winning the Tour Championship in back-to-back weeks. So what we have is a situation where there's only 3 playoff events, and that third playoff event, the Tour Championship, is a staggered start. So your positioning heading into that week is absolutely critical because there's really only going to be a handful of guys who have the opportunity to win at East Lake at the Tour Championship. With this victory, Tony Finau moves to 7th in the FedEx Cup standings. He's going to have 2 playoff events to even further improve that positioning, and then he's going to get a crack at Patrick Cantlay and try to take that FedEx Cup away from him. Scotty Scheffler, John Rahm, Rory McIlroy, and everybody else who has had such a great season vying for that FedEx Cup, and it's really all going to come down to that final 30 at East Lake.
Yeah, 1 week left before the FedEx Cup playoffs. The final regular season event takes us to Greensboro, North Carolina for the Wyndham Championship. Top 125 make the playoffs, Rick. Who's a player that needs a strong tournament to get in?
It's impossible to look past Ricky Fowler's name. You know, he is by far one of the most popular golfers that we have in the world. And obviously his popularity, his brand are not nearly aligned with the performance on the golf course that he would like over the past couple of years. This is now an extended slump for Ricky Fowler. And we've seen guys go through this. Jordan Spieth went through 3.5 years without victory. Ricky Fowler struggling in similar ways for basically 2 years now. And remember, his PGA Tour exemptions, he only has 1 more year left of status. Now, I'm sure Ricky Fowler can have as many sponsors exemptions as he wants. He's going to find a way to play golf somewhere in the world. But we are kind of getting into crunch time here, not only this upcoming week at the Wyndham Championship, but the next 12 months for Ricky Fowler are critically important if we're going to see him continue to be a staple on the PGA Tour. So he's the one that I'm certainly keeping a close eye on.
On the outside looking in, heading into the final regular season event before the start of the FedEx Cup playoffs. The story here on Sunday, though, is Tony Finau with back-to-back wins. First time all season we had a guy win back-to-back weeks on the PGA Tour, and it's Tony Finau, who went 335 days between wins 2 and 3, 7 days between his last 2 wins. Rick, thanks. Appreciate the breakdown here on CBS Sports HQ. And for more awesome golf content, join Rick and his crew on the First Cut podcast, really a cavalcade of stars. You'll get tournament previews, including DFS picks and analysis. You'll also get round-by-round reaction to each PGA Tour event, set you up for the FedEx Cup playoffs. The First Cut podcast, download and subscribe today.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.